Yeah, I think there's an amazing connection, really, between the first piece and our symphony, between the Hébrides Overture and the Scottish Symphony of Mendelssohn. In between the two, we have the first piano concerto, which frankly is a bit of a show-off piece for Mendelssohn himself, I think. Extremely difficult, but by all accounts he had a pretty impressive technique, so it was a useful tool to show off his piano playing. But I find it an amazing story that at the age of 20 years old, so when so many of our university students or pre-university students are doing their gap years and so on, that Mendelssohn went off on his tours around Europe. And at the age of 20, he found himself in Scotland. And in such a short period of time, he came up with the opening material, the opening themes for these two pieces. He was carried away and came up with this material for the opening of the Scottish Symphony. And then within weeks, he was on a boat trip to the Hébrides Islands, and he found himself coming up with this now incredibly famous melody that we all know from the Hébrides Overture. But perhaps an important thing to say is that famous theme he composed before he even arrived at Fingal's Cave. And in fact, his day trip to Fingal's Cave that he did on another boat, he spent most of the time seasick and unable to communicate. So it's difficult to know. I suppose a lot of the turbulence in the middle of the overture might connect to Fingal's Cave itself and the I don't know whether the feeling of seasickness, but certainly it's there. But the opening theme is more of a general impression of the magic of the Hébrides. The difference between the two primarily being that the Hébrides he finished off very quickly, but the Scottish Symphony he didn't finish until 13 years later. So actually, I think that's one of the reasons why it feels like such a mature work, but also it doesn't feel Scottish all the way through it. You know, a lot of people comment on this, and I suppose if you're writing a piece over that length of time, certain elements of the mistiness of Scotland, which he was trying to think back to, are diluted and perhaps influenced by other things.
In 3 words.
Oh, 3 words. I can't do it in 3 words.
But 5.
I love coming here to Granada, and particularly I'm looking forward to conducting this Scottish Symphony, which I've performed many times, but always with much larger orchestras. So I think we'll bring something fresh to my approach with the piece, which is nice. Always good to revisit a work.